There are no cultural venues in Lisbon. This seems to be an impression held by some people. How do you feel about this statement? Here we are all cultural studies students, many of whom are internationals, some of us are nationals, Portuguese nationals. All of us are willing to be engaged with cultural venues across Lisbon. However, we propose there are many cultural venues in Lisbon. Here I present you a very simple Google Map results of culture within the city, museums, theatres, as well as the GIAC official venue map. This shows all the institutions which are authorised within the city. As you can see, there are quite a few of them. So why is there the impression that on any given night or day, there is nothing to do? Rather, we're stuck at home, perhaps engrossed in a book, with our studies, watching Netflix, and then only afterwards do we realise where the actual party was at by looking on Facebook, at past events, or between people. There are several proposed reasons. From personal experiences, it appears to be word of mouth. Cultural venues are passed by word of mouth between connections between people. Therefore, knowing people is crucial. A challenge, perhaps, for newly arrived people into the city. Consequently, the problem becomes about communication. There are cultural venues, but they are not effectively advertised, whether on an online platform or with institutions such as universities. Also, they are not always advertised for an international audience within English or perhaps even Spanish. This brings us to the third point of language. Many cultural venues both advertise and hold events in Portuguese for Portuguese audiences, such as film festivals and exhibitions. The majority of the cultural venues are therefore aimed at Portuguese. However, we cannot directly criticise this. We do not expect every event to be held in English for an international audience, and thus alienate many Portuguese nationals and many Portuguese speakers. We are rather focused on ways to raise the visibility of English accessible events and venues. The fourth insight is transport. The fact that the metro closes at 1 a.m. is out of sync with many late-night events, which Lisbon so often holds. This may be putting people off from venturing out to new cultural venues, and therefore lowering their visibility, and leading to the conclusion that there are no cultural venues in Lisbon. Therefore, with all of this in mind, we have deduced that a centralised event information system is needed. This will direct people towards cultural venues within Lisbon, and thus raising the visibility of these venues. We therefore propose an app for this, which will bring people to Lisbon.
By creating the app Lisbon, we would be directly dealing with these problems of language accessibility, transportation, and visibility. The app is aimed at people like us and visiting tourists to open up their experience of Lisbon and all of its cultural venues which has to offer. Our solution is centralize the events information system for an easy access to the city. We have your own profile, a platform where you view upcoming events. It contains native language, communities, and information, like language, access to events. We acknowledge that there are already similar online resources with information about upcoming events in Lisbon, such as this. However, what makes us stand out is that it's more than just connecting people that live here, such as Meetup, and more than a suggestion of places that hang out, such as Lisbon Cool. The app will contain all cultural venues such as sports stadiums, museums, theaters, art galleries, music, festival, tours, academic institutions, which you can filter by dates and language. Now, I will talk about each feature and details, starting with video and images uploading into the app. The benefit for this application are able to share images and videos from these venues and share pictures and events on the forum board for further visibility for people that want to go in the future. Another feature, the app contains centralized map gathering together all the cultural venues feature within Lisbon. The map provides directly how to get there, find people to go with, and therefore connecting people together. Due to the problem of transport mentioned earlier, we are offering a carpool system where you can share lifts to the events. Overcoming to the metro closing time, the difficulty catching buses, allowing us to party longer and enjoy the night with friends. It is also a chance to make new friends with similar interests, traveling to cultural events across the city with the carpool system and shared transport option. It is an opportunity not only to discover new cultural venues, but also to find new friends and share experiences. The benefits of this app maybe is sustainability by being free and accessible to everyone. We will aim to be funded by the cultural venues for advertising themselves and their events on our platform. We'll also suggest consumers to be actively engaged with the app by recommending new locations within city to be added to the app. The benefit for consumers will be visitors, tourists, and the consumer essentially is anyone who has a phone in their hands. The app is for everyone, but we are focusing on internationals. These may be tourists visiting for the weekend, student, settled expat, community. Secondly, institutions will benefit from the app through the advertisement of their events, attracting more visitors and therefore, hopefully, raising more visibility.